Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. I was not ready to start talking, apparently. Mr. Falls, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I want to say thanks. You're real good. You really hooked me up. Thanks. We're almost there. Once I prove that she committed the crime. Yeah, but there... Jesus, I was not ready to talk today, apparently. Let me adjust my mic real quick. Yeah, but there's one big obstacle we've got to get past. Obstacle? Yeah, motive. Why would Melissa Foster kill that police woman anyway? Motive, huh? Anyway, we're still badly in need of information. Information, right. What we need the most is info about this Melissa Foster herself. All we know that she's a student studying literature. And one more thing. What is it? Well, the incident that happened 5 years ago, of course. The kidnapping murder case that Zebra Boy is on death row for. I didn't do nothing! I didn't kill nobody, I never lie! Mr. Falls, in that case, tell us more about it. About what happened 5 years ago. Okay, I trust you. That day, 5 years ago, I dream of it. Every day. This picture reminds me of everything. Bridge looks same, just like then, 5 years ago. Like it could fall apart any minute. So it's been broken like that for at least 5 years. Huh. Sorry, buddy, but you sound like the one that could fall apart at any minute. True, I did. I did kidnap her. 5 years ago. I kidnapped my girlfriend, Dahlia Hawthorne. Your girlfriend? Huh? Hey, hold on there. Did you say Hawthorne? The victim's last name. Ooh. Dahlia. Did we ever know Dahlia's last name? We had to know it, right? Dahlia Hawthorne? That sounds familiar. Was that your last name? Oh god, it's been so long since I did this case. That's what I get for not playing for a whole year, I guess. Dahlia Hawthorne. Valerie's little sister. What? Are you serious? The girl. Let her go! Shut up! Come closer, and I kill her! Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. You saw this cutscene already. Why is your girlfriend so small? How old is she? The detective back then was Valerie Hawthorne. At first, I thought shooting someone for a kidnapping was crossing the line, but if it was to protect her little sister, I can understand why she did it. Wrong! No protect sister! Valerie betrayed me! Betray us! What do you mean she betrayed you? Everything. All lies. All make-believe. Kidnapping, too. A make-believe kidnapping? Dahlia, my girlfriend. My love. My teen angel. Did he actually say my teen angel? He's seen one too many soap operas. I do anything she says. Anything Dahlia says. Anything Dahlia says? Oh, hold on a minute. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by... Yeah, me and Dahlia. And Valerie, too. Valerie was in on it? Dahlia's family rich. Jewelry business. We got one jewel. That's what we thought. Me and Dahlia wrote kidnap note. We sent it to her dad. Ask for $2 million diamond. Tell him make exchange on Dusky Bridge. We tell him Valerie make transfer because she knew detective. Having a police detective in your pocket is a useful thing, alright? In the end, you were planning on splitting the 2 million 3 ways, huh? So that'd be like what? About 66 1,000 each way? No. That'd only be... It's 66,000, 99,000, 120,000. Oh yeah, no, that's nowhere close. 666,000 though. 1.2 million, 1.8 million. So it'd be probably more like 680,000 each, right? I can't do math. Yeah, but that woman... Valerie, she'd do it for real. She'd shoot at me for real. Me and Dahlia. I was shot in arm. Dahlia, she'd jump in river. But why did she shoot? Jump? You don't mean she jumped on purpose, do you? I couldn't do it. I could never push her. Anyway, I blacked out. Wake up with police all over. And that's when they decided to give you the death sentence. I couldn't believe it. That woman, she betrayed me. Interesting. That man, Terry Falls, he killed her. He threw her off the bridge. He threw my beloved sister into the roaring river 40 feet below. These 5 years, all I wonder is, why? 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 Why did she lie? That's all I want to know. So that's why you called her. You wanted to hear the truth from Valerie herself. Yes, but I forget what she looked like, so I tell her to wear a scarf. I don't want to hurt her. Just ask why. Why? Why did you lie? Why did you betray me? I just want to hear an answer come from her mouth, that's all. So that's why you made a crazy escape like that. Just one thing, Zebra Boy. My senses are tingling all over. Tell me, Mr. Falls, where is it? Huh? Where's what? Come on now, kitten. The ransom. The $2 million diamond. Well, remember that now. Did you give it back to Pops? Did the police take it? I have a feeling the diamond was never taken. If she was shooting at him, she probably planned to take him out. She was a cop, right? She was probably like, oh, you're... I mean, it's ransom, that's illegal, but it's also a fake kidnapping. So, that'd be like, extortion? No, extortion's not the right word for that. It would be like, I mean, it's not exactly a... Scam's not exactly the word, but it's probably closer to what I'm thinking. Can't think of the word, but, yeah. Many sorts of illegal right there. I don't know. Huh? You don't know? No, really. I don't know. It's gone. With Dahlia. With Dahlia? That day, on the bridge. Dahlia put it in backpack. Oh, was she trying to get away with the money herself? Would that make sense? As if she was using you for something? She got money and she took off with it herself? Because I'm assuming this Dahlia is the same Dahlia that's on the stand right now, right? So... Now gone with Dahlia. Gone. Forever. Into Eagle River. It disappeared with Dahlia, huh? Wait a minute. You can come back in now. We're about ready to go. Mr. Falls, just one more question. When you said with Dahlia, do you mean the diamond is still missing? Along with the body of Dahlia Hawthorne? Never found her. My sweet Dahlia. They never found her. Swallowed by river. Gone. Dahlia, my teen angel. Your teen angel? How old was she anyway? 14! Never mind, you do deserve prison time. I guess you were robbing cradles before diamonds. She plans a fake kidnapping and disappears into the river with a rock worth $2 million. Man, oh man. Angels these days. Falls takes the fall and gets a one-way ticket to death row. Is Dahlia Hawthorne an angel, or is she really a... It's time, kitten. Looks like we have a few more aces up our sleeve now. You bet. The training wheels come off now, Mia. You gotta strike while the iron's hot. How old is... Melissa? 19? This was 5 years ago, you were 14? Yeah. That's one of my rules. Remember it. Now then, let's continue with the trial of Mr. Terry Falls. Witness, are you feeling better?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll try my best.
You're a brave young lady.
Not this again.
I can understand a defense lawyer wanting to get her client off the hook. However, to try to pin the crime on an innocent student is...
What are you talking about?
My witness is not the person on trial here. She's an innocent bystander who witnessed a violent crime. That's all. What possible reason would a girl like this have for murdering a policewoman? It's certainly hard to imagine this woman is a murderer.
Her motive, huh? I figured that's what I had to establish next.
Well, Miss Faye, do you have any evidence of a motive?
Yes, of course. I think.
You're still acting the same as a kitten. Kitten.
Stop calling me that. It's your Armando.
Listen, a lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Is that so? Smiling on the outside while your guts are twisted and knots is the mark of a pro.
Maybe so, but I wish you would quit grinning at me like that. Excuse me, may I speak, Mr. Judge?
Of course! Mr. Judge is ready anytime you like.
I'd like, to say something. Some people here are suspicious of me, right? That's why... I at least wanted you, Mr. Judge, to know that it's not true.
I see. You're just an honest and upstanding young lady. Looks like this witness is a real professional.
What do you mean?
Look at that 100-watt smile. Just when things are darkest for her, click, she lights right up. Very well then, let's hear what the witness has to say. Alright, Melissa Foster's history.
I was out of the country until the year before last. Until I entered college, I had never even been to Eagle Mountain before. And I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago?
Wait.
Or kidnapping a poor girl? I just think the defendant is a terrible...
Oh, okay, you're talking about him. I was like, wait, what do you mean she testified against you?
I just think the defendant is a terrible, horrible monster.
How do you know that? Out of the country, huh? Precisely. Furthermore, she has no possible motive for committing murder. Indeed. You're up to bat, kitten. Sharpen those claws and put on your best smile.
You bet. Somehow, I have to tie her to this case.
No, how do you know about...
I assume you must have heard it.
I mean, let's act as if you're not instrumental to this case. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You probably heard us mention it. I just forgot that we mentioned that to you. But I don't know how you would know that much about the witness or the suspect.
So what country were you living in then? We were all living abroad, but after my parents were killed...
It was a brutal civil war. She had to try to make her way back home alone.
I lost everything. I didn't even have any personal identification.
What kind of sob story is this?
What do I do? Should I press her for details?
Yeah.
Witness, answer my question. I'll even repeat it for you. What country were you in?
Your Honor, this line of questioning is childish. What country she was in and how many languages she may speak are irrelevant here. What we're here to evaluate is whether the witness has any connection to this case.
I've lived abroad ever since I was a little girl. That's why I could never have known Mr. Falls or Detective Hawthorne.
Yes, I think we've established that point. Yes, indeed. Well then, shall we add what you've just stated to the official testimony? Okay. You didn't know either the victim or the defendant. Alright, tell me about that. You didn't know either person. Are you certain of that?
Yes, I'm afraid I'm rather shy around people.
Oh well, that can't be helped.
Why is he just agreeing with everything that comes out of her mouth?
First time you saw either of them was when they were on that bridge, correct?
Yes, it really was a coincidence.
Okay. Till I entered college and were into Eagle Mountain. Can't really prove that. I was saying I can't prove that, but neither can she, I guess. So what made you decide to go to Eagle Mountain anyway?
I just love being outdoors. Picnics, hiking, you know, that sort of thing.
You don't look much like a hiker to me. You do look like a digger of sorts. But Eagle Mountain is a 2-hour drive from here and no trains run through there. There are plenty of mountains that are closer and easier to get to.
Well, I went there once with the college hiking club. I fell in love with its stark, desolate beauty and its cold, yet romantic gloominess.
I didn't know you were such a goth. By the way, what's the name of your college? The prosecution objects to any questions that involve the witness's private life. Why? All that matters is that she's a material witness to a crime. The witness doesn't need to respond to questions that are clearly malicious in intent. Okay, I maybe have malicious intent in mind, but you can't prove that just by asking what her college is. Maybe I'm interested.
She's really gone too far.
You're treading on thin ice here.
I hardly said anything. Talk about sensitive.
Okay, and I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Let's see here. Perhaps, but your behavior that day was very suspicious. Not only have you contradicted yourself here in court, but you know things you shouldn't. For example, the scratches on the trunk of the car.
Well, that's...
Also, let's not mention you know the story of the suspect. Unfortunately, Miss Faye, your last statement proves nothing.
Oh, really? And why is that?
The witness came to the police station and wants to identify the suspect. It's entirely possible that, at the time, an officer showed her this photo. Okay, she didn't say that, though. And now she's gonna take your story. That seems like a rather serious mistake. That's the oldest trick in the prosecutor's book.
It's not fair. A wicked inmate. I'll never be able to forget that horrible day.
Okay, tell me how you know about this.
A grudge? Well, the policewoman's testimony was crucial, wasn't it? Crucial in getting the defendant sentenced to death.
Yes, and that's precisely why he harbored such a deep anger against her. So much anger that he forgot his own guilt. My client has always maintained that he's innocent of those charges.
Seems rather forgetful. Your client, I mean. Not only did he forget about what he did, but he forgot the poor policewoman as well.
What do you mean by that?
Your client, he forgot what the detective looked like, right? It's too bad for her that he didn't forget about her testimony as well.
Well, she's right about that. Mr. Falls is kind of forgetful. Let's press harder. You said he forgot what the detective looked like. What did you mean by that?
Well, he couldn't tell who she was without some kind of identification, right?
Quite right. That's why the victim was wearing a scarf as identification.
Why, if I had been wearing a white scarf that day, then he probably would have tried to kill me.
That's true. He's clearly a bitter man.
Ah, this is bad. Mr. Falls' reputation keeps getting worse and worse.
Sometimes it's best not to poke too deep. What should I do with that last statement? Let's have it added to the testimony. Because... have we brought up the note? This note. Because this is where he said to wear a white scarf. So how could she have known? Because I don't think we brought that up in court just yet. Not with her around, anyway. I'd like to get added to the official testimony. The prosecution has no objection. After all, the defendant is a killer and mentally unbalanced one at that. The testimony only helps to further prove that point.
No, that's not why.
Enough! Witness, if you would.
My pleasure, Mr. Judge.
Guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf. Alright, tell me about that. What do you mean by lucky?
Well, it's February now. Everyone is wearing scarves. If I had accidentally worn a white scarf like he said...
then you yourself might have been killed. That would have been a terrible loss for this world. It looks like you pressed too hard this time, the kitten. Keep looking around you and you're going to lose sight of the finish line. Justice is blind, but she's not deaf. Sometimes you have to know when not to walk. Oh, it's fine. That's not going to come back to bite me, I'm sure.
she knew about that incident. But weren't you out of the country until the year before last? Well, I saw a report about the escaped convict on the news. It had an in-depth report about his whole history.
So you were still living abroad 5 years ago, is that right?
Yes. I can't let her get away with these lies.
Listen to me, she's neck deep in this whole thing. Somehow, you're just gonna have to get her to show the court her true self. Alright, I need to ask you... I'm gonna actually save. I guess I screwed something up. I wanna press you on this.
It's true. Mr. Falls did give instructions to Valerie Hawthorne about their meeting.
Hmm.
The note that she left said, wear white scarf for identification.
Yes, what about it?
Isn't it obvious? Doesn't it strike you as odd? That note was a secret piece of evidence. How is it that this witness knows about it?
Order! It is odd, isn't it? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, did you show this top secret evidence to the witness? Your Honor, I certainly never gave anyone permission to do such a thing.
In that case, the only way the witness could know about the whole note would be... Just a moment. Of course I didn't know about the note. It's just, I saw it when it happened, with my own eyes. But how would you know that she was asked to wear that for identification? When the victim went to see the killer, she used her own scarf to signal him. That's why I assumed the signal was a white scarf.
I suppose that makes sense.
Oh, come on, Mia. You can't let her weasel out of it that easily. Witness! Sorry, but your explanation isn't going to work here. But why? It's true. That's what I saw.
Uh-oh.
Impossible. There's no way you could have seen the victim use a white scarf to signal him.
Because this isn't even white.
You said several times in your testimony that the victim was wearing a scarf. A white scarf, correct? Yes, is something wrong? That's what I'd like to know, Miss Foster. Have a look at this. It's the victim's scarf. I'm sure people would disagree about what to call this color. However, I mean, it's blue. It's certainly not white. You knew what the note said.
She knew? The contents of the note? No!
It says, wear white scarf for identification. That's the reason you said it was white. Well, Miss Foster? No!
Try to get my voice up high. Order, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm waiting for an explanation. I'm quite sure this note wasn't linked to the public.
And yet, this witness knew exactly what the note said. At the time of the murder, the number of people that knew were quite limited. Terry Falls is one. The person who wrote the note, Valerie Hawthorne, is another. And finally, one more person.
You say Valerie wrote the note?
No, she received the note.
I must have read that wrong. Oh no, she wrote that for herself. Is that it? I don't know anymore, man. I'm confusing myself. Just one more person. Did you say one more person? That's right. A person that no one would have suspected. Have you figured it out, kitten?
Yep. The third person that knew the contents of the note was...
Dahlia?
That person is Dahlia Hawthorne.
Dahlia Hawthorne? I've never heard that name before.
Look at the victim's note. This is what it says. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time. There's her name right there.
What's this? So who is this person? This Dahlia Hawthorne? This fate must be desperate if she's trying to bring the dead back to life. The dead? Dahlia Hawthorne was the victim's deceased younger sister. She was killed in a crime 5 years ago. Killed in a crime? You don't mean... Yes, she was kidnapped and killed by Terry Falls. Objection! No.
You said she was killed, but was she really?
What are you implying?
Of course, people thought she had died 5 years ago, when she fell off the Dusky Bridge and was lost in the Eagle River.
However, her corpse was never found. She was declared legally dead 5 years ago. As far as the law is concerned, Dahlia Hawthorne is officially dead. But the fact remains that her body was never recovered. Dahlia Hawthorne was 14 years old 5 years ago. If she were still alive, she would be 19 now. Melissa Foster, I believe that's the same age you are. Even you couldn't. Miss Faye, you're not saying. Merely a possibility. But I am. That's precisely what I'm saying. This witness before us is the girl that was kidnapped and killed 5 years ago. This girl is in fact Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. What? Huh, that's work. I was like tossing a grenade into a 3-alarm fire. But unless you can tie all the loose ends together, nothing but a hit-and-run arsonist. I understand. If I can expose her true nature, I can turn this whole case on its head. How's my chance to make Mr. Edgeworth squirm? Witness, just who are you anyway? I'm... I didn't think it'd come to this. That's enough. You don't have to say any more, witness. Yes, she does. She was asked a question.
Yes, I understand.
What? Mr. Edgeworth, explain yourself. Your Honor, I have an admission to make. I honestly never thought the defense would pursue the matter this far. You don't mean... Yes, the prosecutor's office isn't filled with fools, you know. Naturally, we conduct full background checks on all of our witnesses.
What did he say?
Looks like the kid knew. He knew her true identity from the get-go.
No way! But then why?
You hadn't revealed her secret, he wasn't going to say anything about it. All he wanted was her testimony, so he made a little trade. Let me introduce you to... the victim's younger sister, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. But I thought she died 5 years ago. We thought so as well, but, well, as you can see.
Why? Why'd she hide her identity for 5 years?
That has nothing to do with the current case. She was merely an accidental witness to a crime.
Accidental? I don't believe that for a minute. For the last 5 years, she's been playing the role of victim. And now we find her acting suspiciously at the scene of another murder?
Really, Miss Faye, I must say, your strategy here is painfully obvious. You're trying to pin your client's crime on an innocent witness in order to win. At any cost.
How dare you?
Please, let us take a moment to think. 5 years ago, this girl was kidnapped and nearly killed. But even worse than that, 5 years later, Dahlia Hawthorne lost something much more precious, her big sister. Miss Faye must be insane to even suggest that she murdered her.
What?
I'm inclined to agree with the prosecutor's logic. Miss Faye, do you have any evidence to back up your assertion? What possible reason would this witness have for killing her beloved sister?
Well, you see, I thought I was winning, but somehow he's turned it around on me.
I think you need a little push in the right direction, kitten. The defense is prepared to present evidence supporting our claim. Mondo, what are you doing?
That wasn't me. It was this guy, this crazy coffee addict.
I think we've heard enough empty threats from you, old man. What makes you think they're empty, boy? Because your protege looks like she's sweating bullets.
I am sweating bullets.
You think you're in a tough spot, huh?
Of course, aren't I?
No. You just arrived at the moment of truth, that's all. Whether you win or lose, that's up to you.
Up to me?
The rashness of youth, how charming.
That's coming from someone younger than me.
Now then, let's not waste any more time. Miss Faye? What motive would this witness have for murdering her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne?
I mean, is it the diamond? Why would... I mean, yeah, it makes sense, but why would that give her... Did your profile change? No. Why would that give her a motive? If she's presumed dead, unless her sister knew she was alive, and she must have, because... I mean, here, obviously, they know Dahlia's alive.
let's just see where this goes. What is this? Is this the defense's idea of a joke? If so, I certainly don't get the punchline. Well, Miss Faye?
Oh, that was the rashness of youth.
The rashness of youth? What's your point in furthering such a stereotype? Oh, no. That witness stayed hidden for 5 years, kitten. There must be a good reason for that. And somehow it must involve Valerie Hawthorne.
Oh, were you hiding from the suspect?
Were you trying to get him imprisoned? That has to be it, right? No? How long ago was my save? We'll see you guys when I catch up. Alright, so what motive would she have for murdering Valerie? That's a great question. Is it because she's the key witness? She got her boyfriend in jail? She betrayed them? God! Every time I think I'm on the right track and I never am. Heck, I don't know. It has to be something about 5 years ago, I'm sure. I mean, the note? Talk to Dahlia, tell her time the whole truth must come out. Oh! I get it. She wanted to keep the secret. Oh, the whole truth of the incident where they were faking a kidnapping. I see. The story starts after the Terry Falls escaped. He called Valerie and told her he wanted to meet. This is the note she left. It says, talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Valerie Hawthorne gave Dahlia a warning. She told her she was going to reveal the world the whole truth. The whole truth? There was a dangerously important secret between Valerie and Dahlia. That's the reason Dahlia felt she had to kill Valerie. To keep her mouth shut permanently. A terrific story, Miss Faye. If you like fiction, that is. Enlighten the court, Miss Faye. What was the secret that was so important? Where's your evidence? Dahlia and Valerie Hawthorne in Terry Falls. There's only one important secret that connects them all.
Oh yes, I know this secret.
Your Honor, the defense would like to request further testimony. What testimony? Regarding the kidnapping 5 years ago, we believe it will explain a lot of things. Such as the nature of the important secret between the Hawthorne sisters. Very well. I'll grant your request for the further testimony. I know it'll be painful for you, but can you enlighten us once more, my little maple leaf? How could you call her that? Put in the old charm one more time, Dahlia. But this will be the last time you hide behind your womanly wiles. I'm gonna take a guess and say Allegro. Yep. 5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. Let me put on the voice, actually.
The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister, Valerie, brought it to the bridge. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I survived, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money. So I decided to change my identity and start a new life.
Kidnapping left her emotionally scarred. With her sister's help, she left the Hawthorne family and started all over again. And we're to believe after all that, she murdered her sister? It's preposterous. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Miss Faye?
Yes, Your Honor.
As you've heard, the witness is still traumatized from the kidnapping. I'll ask you again to be extremely gentle in your cross-examination.
Mr. Edgeworth's got the jump on me again.
We're not allowed to fight, and let's twist some arms. Listen up, we've still got that info. That ace up our sleeve.
What info?
Come on, kitten. Don't say you've forgotten already. The fact that the kidnapping 5 years ago was staged.
Yeah, it was a fake kidnapping, at least according to Terry. I believe him. But can we prove that? We can't exactly prove that, but...
Anything Dahlia says.
So you're saying that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by...
Yeah, me and Dahlia. And Valerie, too.
Yes, that's it. The fake kidnapping is your best shot, Mia. That's her secret.
5 years ago.
So am I allowed to press? I'm gonna save, but... I've got this silly little feeling that pressing is gonna put me in a lot of issues. Did you and Mr. Falls have a relationship? Yes, as a tutor.
You were tutoring him? Mr. Falls?
No, of course not. Don't be ridiculous. Mr. Falls came to the house to tutor me. That makes sense. 5 years ago, she was only 14.
Probably came up with the kidnapping plan during that time. The Hawthorns are in the jewelry trade and are quite wealthy, you see. Quite the clever fellow, that Mr. Falls.
Did I hear him right? Did he just call Mr. Falls a clever fellow?
Ransom price is a raw diamond.
I heard the diamond is valued in the neighborhood of $2 million.
$2 million?
It was still uncut, so it was about the size of a pint of milk.
A $2 million pint of milk. I don't know what to think about that.
The defendant demanded that her sister Valerie make the exchange.
Sorry, wrong voice. Not as a detective, of course, but as an individual.
By the way, I want to ask you, Mr. Edgeworth, why do you think you wanted to make the exchange up there on that mountain? If you ever got surrounded, it would be hard to escape.
There's one thing a kidnapper wants to prevent, and that's police involvement. In a place like that, it would be easy to tell if he was being followed. With only one entrance to the mountain, he was ensuring his safety.
What a wickedly clever man that Mr. Falls is. Yeah, right. It was all your plan. Anyway, Valerie brought the diamond to the mountain and...
That was a dangerous thing to do considering you're being held hostage.
Yes, but actually, that saved my life.
What do you mean?
You see, Mr. Falls was holding a knife in his right hand. Somehow, I just knew he was going to use it. I knew he was going to use that knife to kill me. That's why my sister shot him. It was to save me.
Yeah, so Mr. Falls tried to kill me by jumping off the bridge. I'd like to hear more about what happened right at that moment.
Well, when Mr. Falls was shot in the right arm, he let go of me.
The bridge is broken out?
That can't be.
Yeah, the bridge is unchanged for 5 years. And then Edgeworth himself said that this bridge broke out only recently, right?
As I ran past, he and I looked at locked eyes for a second and gave me a large, bloodthirsty grin.
Bloodthirsty grin? Ooh.
And in the next instant...
I advise the court to remember that the river is 18 feet deep and incredibly swift.
I was a strong swimmer, but I was knocked out. When I came to, I had been carried away by the river to a strange place. I'll never forget that day. The crumbling bridge, nowhere to run, then just one little shove from behind. That was it. Before my sister could catch me, I fell into the river.
It's right, but I was afraid I might get kidnapped again.
That's why you hid your identity? Yes, I only told my sister.
Valerie Hawthorne, eh?
Yes, she's the only one who knew about me.
Meanwhile, legally, this witness has been deceased for 5 years.
I didn't ever want something like that to happen to me again.
So I decided to change my identity. Okay.
And that new identity was Melissa Foster, right? Yes, my sister helped me get the official paperwork taken care of.
That makes sense. Without an insider's help, doing all the paperwork would have been impossible.
She was the only person left in the world who I could count on. And you You think I killed her? There's no way I could.
It's the moment of truth for this witness, too. Once the truth about the stage kidnapping comes out, everyone in the court will know just how much of a Jezebel she really is. A Jezebel? So we have to prove it was a hoax. Somehow.
So he said that you had the diamond on you when you jumped in. I don't know exactly which one I need to present, but I'm gonna save either way. I think I already saved just a second ago, but do it again. So rent price is a raw diamond. Lost the Eagle River 5 years ago. To kill you. Is this where we present it? No. I'm actually gonna reload so I have that 4 HP. Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving off the bridge. She's ready to make her new life. The whole truth must come out. I don't know what I need to do here. Kidnapping Mr. Falls, the price of the raw diamond. Shot Mr. Falls in the arm. Bridge unchanged for 5 years. I think it has something to do with that. Maybe not. Oh, it was that. Okay. Real quick, I'm going to reload so I get that 4 HP back, because I'm probably going to need it. But you see that Mr. Falls pushed you into the Eagle River. However, that's hard to believe. But it's true. I felt a push on my back. I am certain of it. It was Mr. Falls. I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't clear enough. I shouldn't have said that's hard to believe. I should have said that's impossible. Impossible? I asked if the court recalled the condition of Dusky Bridge, now and 5 years ago. That bridge hasn't changed one bit in these last 5 years. If someone had pushed you from behind as you claimed, instead of being carried away by the river, you would have been smashed by the bedrock below. And as we all know, bedrock is unbreakable. A most certain death. Do you understand now, Dahlia Hawthorne? The very notion that my client pushed you from behind is impossible. Your Honor, this event occurred 5 years ago. Why, for all we know, the water level in the river may have been higher back then. But it's 40 feet from the bridge to the river. A small change in the water level wouldn't have made a difference. You're right. If the events occurred just as the witnesses testified, the defendant couldn't have pushed the witness into the river. Young lady, what is the meaning of this? You see, I...
Objection? No. Just a moment, Your Honor. It's true that the witness testified that the defendant pushed her into the river. However, she never stated that she fell from the back end of the bridge.
What do you mean?
After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. If that's true, she would have fallen into the river. Well, Miss Hawthorne, is Mr. Edgeworth's explanation correct?
Now that you mention it... God dang it. I do remember now, when I fell off the bridge. My skirt got caught on one of the bridge's side wires.
You can't be serious. Order! Order in the court! Seems Miss Faye's assault has finally reached its conclusion. Objection!
Not now, Mia. This is no time to retreat. Unfortunately for you, this is just the start of Miss Faye's assault.
What?
I believe your reasoning went something like this, Mr. Edgeworth. After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. However, once again, I'm forced to say, that's impossible.
Ridiculous! What's so impossible about it?
Because your flawed logic contradicts the court record.
Does it?
Does it?
If she was unwittingly pushed, then it wouldn't have been a murder, right? Is that what you're trying to say? Oh, the fact that it's too tall to push her off.
Your Honor, all the answers are right here in this photo.
Look at the wires supporting both sides of the bridge. They extend up to about 5 feet off the ground. It would be impossible to push someone off from here. But let's remember the size and strength of the defendant. And let's remember the size of Dahlia, especially at 14. Wires like this wouldn't be a problem for him. He could have easily picked up a 14-year-old girl and thrown her over. But that's not what was said. So young and already so forgetful, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Falls had been shot in the right arm. And more importantly, Valerie Hawthorne had her gun trained on him, at point-blank range. So, Mr. Falls throwing the witness off the bridge? That's clearly impossible. I mean, not impossible, but very likely improbable. What is the meaning of this? Dahlia Hawthorne, you jumped into the Eagle River intentionally. What? What is this? Indeed. What do you mean by such a ridiculous remark?
Yes, it's ridiculous. My sister was there to help me. She had her gun and handcuffs. She could have saved me. Jumping into a regular river like that would have been suicide.
You said yourself you're a strong swimmer.
Perhaps, but still, that's exactly what you did.
You were probably confident that you could handle the swift current. But even more so, the witness had a much more compelling reason for jumping into the river. Oh? Then what was it? What was so important that she wanted to jump into the river? The witness is still alive. This fact alone explains everything. This is why she risked her life by jumping into the rapids of the Eagle River. I can read. 5 years ago, something else disappeared along with Dahlia that day. The item that Valerie brought up to the mountain with her. The $2 million diamond. No, it can't be. Yes, Dahlia had it planned from the beginning. The $2 million. She was going to keep it all for herself. She forced Mr. Falls to help her fake the kidnapping. Bang! At the last minute, she betrayed him and threw herself into the river, with the ransom tucked away safely in her backpack. Why, that's simply ridiculous! Dahlia, what do you have to say about that story? Your Honor, 5 years ago, the witness was only 14 years old. Do you really think a 14-year-old is capable of such a demonic plan?
Yes.
This woman is a demon. And there was one more person who helped make a demon out of her. Her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. You mean the victim was involved in the kidnapping plot as well? But she was a detective then. You're saying she participated in her sister's kidnapping? Precisely. I'm sure that it weighed heavily on her conscience for the past 5 years. This is the sole reason behind the victim's murder. What do you mean by that? On the day of the murder, after receiving the phone call from Mr. Falls, Valerie called her sister Dahlia. And she told her what she was planning to do. Planning to do? She was going to tell the whole truth, as she wrote in her note. That is what sealed Valerie Hawthorne's fate. That is when you hatched your demonic plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. A plan that would ensure neither of your accomplices to the kidnapping would talk. And that is why you killed your sister, Valerie Hawthorne. Who is that, laughing at a time like this?
Forgive me, it's just hilarious.
Witness? Is that you?
You amuse me, woman. Miss Mia Fey. You can certainly weave an exciting tale. Naturally. You have the evidence to back it up, don't you?
Evidence?
Evidence that I planned the kidnapping, of course. That at 14, I plotted it with Mr. Falls and my sister.
Well,
And one more thing. What happened to the $2 million diamond? If you can't provide evidence to at least show that...
Well, Miss Fey?
I don't know. What a joke. You, Miss Fey? Are you stupid or something?
Ugh. How could I prove a fake kidnapping that happened 5 years ago?
I want to, save that for a screenshot later. I don't have any decisive proof of Valerie Hawthorne's murder.
Well, it seems that we've come to it at the end. To be honest, the witness's behavior does raise certain suspicions. However, I am forced to reject the assertions made by the defense.
But why? Of course you are. Is this it? Is it really over? That girl's made a fool of me and there's nothing I can do about it.
Without evidence, the trial is over? Who decided that?
Sir Armando.
Come on now, kitten. Haven't you figured out that you can make your own rules? For example, even if there's no evidence, there's still testimony. On the day in question, Dahlia Hawthorne murdered her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. She hid her body in the trunk of Mr. Fall's stolen car and then went to meet with him. Disguised as her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. That's what you think, right?
Yes, that's right.
In that case, there's only one answer, right? There's only one person left who can testify about Valerie Hawthorne's murder.
If there's no proof, there's only one thing left to do. Who's the one person who can testify to that demon woman's crimes? It's either Terry or Dahlia. Right?
Listen up. This is your last chance. Think it over carefully one more time.
Oh, so it's Terry? Your Honor, the defense wishes to call a new witness.
A new witness?
Yes, we would like to hear the testimony of Terry Falls.
The defendant?
There's only one person that could shed any further light on the situation. Only one person that knows what Dahlia's role in the kidnapping was. Only one person that could say whether the person in the photo is Valerie Hawthorne, or whether it was in fact her younger sister Dahlia disguised as her. There's only one person who can solve this riddle once and for all. And that person is... Terry Falls.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what is your take on this? Why not? The prosecution has no objection. Very well. Bailiff, bring the defendant to the witness stand.
This is my last chance, Mr. Falls. My last chance to establish Dahlia's guilt. You're all I have left.
Defendant, You've heard everything that's been said up to this point, yes? I don't believe it. No way! Dahlia died 5 years ago! Valerie betrayed me!
Mr. Falls, I don't know what she said to you 5 years ago, but one thing is clear. Dahlia is very much alive, and you were used for $2 million.
That's not true. Mr. Falls, there's only one question I want the answer to. 2 days ago on Dusky Bridge, who did you meet? Was it Valerie Hawthorne, or was it Dahlia Hawthorne? Dahlia, did you betray me? 5 years ago, she promised never, ever betray each other.
Terry.
Dahlia! It's true! You're alive!
You don't trust me anymore? That makes me sad.
Tell the truth, the real truth. I believed in you.
I shouldn't need to say it. You should already know. But there is one thing I will say. My life is in your hands right now, Terry.
Ooh, manipulative. I will allow Mr. Falls to testify once and once only.
Once only?
Okay, I can keep going. I was gonna end, but if this is gonna be one more testimony, we should be fine. Well, Mr. Falls, yours will be the final testimony in this trial. Witness! Yeah! Hey, I'm sorry. I apologize. Whoa, water! Please! Water! Can't talk! Need water! I got water. I'm gonna take a sip right now. Oh well, guess I'll have to get my coffee instead. At least it'll match the way he's probably feeling right now. Darker and better than hell itself. I wouldn't want to drink something super bitter. That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of the bridge. She wasn't there, so I waited on bridge. I watched my car from bridge. I never put no body in that car. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. We talked, then she left. That was Valerie. Not my Dahlia.
Mr. Falls, you're covering for her. Do you think she would do the same for you?
That's enough, Miss Faye. His last statement was a fitting way to end the final testimony of the trial. Well then, Miss Faye, please proceed to the cross-examination.
Is this how you wanted to end, Mr. Falls? Another guilty verdict to go along with your death sentence?
There's only one person who can stop it. You, kitten. I think.
Okay. Hold it. According to the note, the meeting was supposed to take place at 4:30. You certainly arrived early, didn't you?
It was raining. Already dark, too.
You waited on the bridge for 30 minutes? Mr. Falls?
Eagle Mountain. That spot. Strong. Strong memories.
Why did you just clam up? Could it be he's hiding something here?
There's he waiting on the bridge.
You were quite early, so you waited on the bridge, correct?
Yeah, I like waiting. I'm used to it. I'm sure he is. Even boy waited 5 years to ask a single question. Find out why a woman betrayed him. To him, 30 minutes must have been like a blink of the eye. I suppose so.
You were watching the car.
That bridge, other side is broken. Nobody can come from there. So I was watching car.
What else were you expecting him to do? I suppose it's the obvious thing to do, but something's bothering me. I'm getting a feeling. Contradiction?
Wonder what's on the other side of the broken bridge anyway. No one lives there. There's a small shrine up on the mountain, but that's it. Anyway, nobody came. No car, nothing.
Mr. Falls, think carefully now. Are you certain that it was Valerie Hawthorne?
I never lie. It's the truth. It was Valerie. I remember her face.
Wait a minute. If you had remembered her face, then why did you make her wear a scarf as identification?
Sorry. I told a little lie. But the woman I met, she was different from the woman standing here now. She was different. It was Valerie.
What did you talk to her about anyway? Mr. Falls?
Valerie told the truth about the kidnapping 5 years ago. She said someone needed to take the blame for it. That was all I could think to do. She said that. That's why she lied. Got me in the death penalty. And were you satisfied with that answer, witness? Dahlia died. It was my fault. I don't really remember. Maybe I did. Maybe I did push her in. It don't matter no more. Either way, my Dahlia, a sweet teen angel, dead.
But you just saw that she isn't dead.
After Valerie talked to me on the bridge, nothing left to live for. Yeah.
How could you be so sure? It was raining at the time, and sunset that day was 5 o'clock. It would have already been pretty dark on that mountain at 4:30. Please, Mr. Falls, this is your last chance. You've already taken the fall once for something and you didn't do.
That woman. It wasn't Dahlia. Stop right there. What more needs to be said?
Even if it means a death penalty, even if it means taking the blame for murder, you'll still do whatever is necessary to protect her, won't you, Mr. Falls?
I know it's obvious, but he's clearly lying. He's been cursed by Dahlia Hawthorne. He'll probably go to his grave still believing in her.
Mr. Falls.
Even if you can show he's lying, the poor guy will still be cursed. You still have to point out the contradiction anyway. That's the curse of being a defense lawyer, I guess.
Never put no body in that car. Here's the thing. There's a body in here. It's not raining. This was shown to be before. Oh. I didn't mean to press yet. I wanted to save. Well, I've only got one life now, so I gotta make the most of it. Nobody can come from outside of the bridge. Then why is she standing on that side? That's a real question. So when you got to the bridge, no one had arrived, huh? So you waited on the bridge. You're sure of that?
Yeah, I'm sure.
You're sure, huh? Well then, I'm sure too, Mr. Falls. I'm sure that you're lying.
Huh? What? What?
Oh? I would love to hear your rationale on this, Miss Faye. You want to know who arrived at the bridge first? Just look at this photo. It's perfectly clear. Obviously, the person that came first would be the one at the end of the bridge, right?
Well, that's the victim at the end of the bridge.
Precisely my point. In other words, Mr. Falls, he must have arrived at the bridge after she did. Mr. Falls, please don't get so worked up. We just want the truth.
I got there around 4 o'clock. It's true. I had somewhere to go. A special place. Did you go to the special place before you went to the bridge? Yeah, it's an old temple about 15 minutes from the bridge. 5 years ago, me and Dahlia, we promised each other. We swore we wouldn't betray each other. She brought a memento to represent our love.
A memento?
5 years ago, I hid it under the base of the tree there. It's a special memory for me. This is it. This is what I went to get. This little bottle and necklace is your memento? It's quite charming, but it looks empty.
Your Honor, you heard what my client said. He arrived at the scene at 4 o'clock. But he then left his car unattended and walked away. He was gone for approximately 30 minutes.
Ugh.
With that much time, Dahlia Hawthorne could have easily hidden the body in the trunk of his car.
Indeed, there certainly was enough time for it.
I've still got a chance. Mr. Falls, there's no mistaking it. Huh? Mr. Falls? You good?
That's enough. Please. Witness? I promised her 5 years ago. If it ever happens that we can't trust each other no more, then we're supposed to...
No, don't do that!
No, stop the trial! Your Honor, we need a recess. I was stupid. Couldn't keep promise. So I did it. I drank this.
No, we're so close. Just a little more. I was going to prove your innocence.
No, don't want that. Don't trust self. Maybe kill again. Kill sweet Dahlia again.
Mr. Falls!
Mr. Armando, thanks for the coffee.
Dog? And so my first trial ended, suddenly and tragically. It ended with no winners, only losers. I ended up with a wound that cut so deep into my soul I thought I'd never heal. I'm sure it was the same for the young prosecutor as well. But one person, the true criminal, Dahlia Hawthorne, she left the courtroom with a secret smile on her demonically sweet face.
Unforgivable. That witch.
Mr. Armando.
We were so close to the truth. It was right there in front of us. You were just a little too soft, kitten.
It's my fault? It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself.
Don't cry, kitten. You're going to make my coffee all salty.
I knew it. I knew I wasn't cut out for this.
Mia. Don't you get it? You can't cry yet.
Ah, that had to hurt.
Yeah. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over.
Mr. Armando. No matter how tough the case, no matter how bitter the memories, they always fade over time. Then you file them away and eventually forget them. One year later, in this very same courthouse, I myself got wrapped up in that case. Only after that did Dahlia Hawthorne get put on trial for her crimes. The verdict that was ultimately handed down to her was guilty, of course. Naturally, when the verdict was read, she had a perfect angelic smile on her face. It was finally all over. At least, that's what I thought at the time. Unfortunately, I couldn't have been more wrong. It's been 5 years, but now something has happened that's made me remember all this.
What do you mean, the end?
That was the entire trial? Bridge to the turnabout. Okay, I wasn't expecting there to be 5 episodes. I mean, I know the first Ace Attorney game did, but that 5th episode was added in in the DS remake. Interesting. Cool. 5th episode. This went on for a while, but it shouldn't be too long, because I've got some parts to cut out. And by some parts, I mean a part. But I guess we'll start episode 5 next time. Thanks for watching. If you like, please click the like or subscribe button down below. Don't forget to check out my channel, and if you're streaming live on Twitch or sometimes I stream live, you check out that link down in the description below. Once again, thanks for watching, and I will catch all of you in the next one. So, take care.